Is that your husband?
Yeah, that's my fiance.
Or fiance.
Yeah,
That's cute.
so you had
Tattoos.
My maid of honor made stickers.
That's awesome.
They're slowly fading, guys. I think I'm just gonna get a custom phone case with him all over it because I love it so much. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I love you. You know? Anybody else? What's up, Bridal Babes? I hope you're ready to talk weddings with me on an exciting episode of your favorite wedding podcast, Bridal Buzz. I'm your host, Kat, and I'm so excited to get into today's conversation. Today's episode, all about bachelorette parties, which I am super excited to finally talk about. My bachelorette party was, by the time this is airing, probably about a month ago. So it's fresh, but not super fresh. I've had some time to process things and come at it from, like, I guess more of an unbiased perspective instead of just like hot off the press. But I'm super excited for everybody to get to hear your perspective. Bridal Babes, this is Felicia.
Hi, guys.
And she actually has a super cool story that we're going to hear about from her bachelorette party. They actually got matching tattoos, and they're so freaking cute. Like, I can't wait to hear about the inspiration behind them and just all about it. But before we get into the meat of today's convo, make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Make sure you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening. It really, really helps us out as a podcast to get in front of more people. So if you want more people to hear Bridal Buzz and be a part of our community, then please go leave a review, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and of course, watch and listen. So with that, let's get started.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay,
Yes.
Cool. So I want to have you react to some real stories from Reddit, of course, our favorite. But before we get into that, let's do a little rapid fire session about your batch party.
Yes. It was so much fun. I'm ready for this.
Yay! And actually, before we get into that, why don't we hear a little bit about you as a bride?
Okay.
So tell me about when you got proposed to, how long you were engaged, when you got married, just like a little synopsis. Yeah.
I got engaged Memorial Day weekend. Me and my now husband went to the beach, and he surprised me, proposed to me on the beach. It was super awesome. Then I got married September 24th, 2022.
Okay.
So I was engaged for a little over a year.
Yeah.
I DIY'd everything. Me and my two best friends sat down with a Cricut, made everything. It was super fun. We did kind of like a family reunion style wedding. So half of our pictures were like in our wedding attire, and then the other half people are in pajamas, and we're just hanging out, partying. We had karaoke as an after party. We just wanted everything to be really fun.
Oh my gosh,
Fun
I
wedding.
love that. Wait, have I seen these pictures of people in pajamas?
Probably.
I need to re-see them because that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. There's my photographers are wedding videos on YouTube, so I show everybody because I'm like, you can see the progression of the night.
Yes.
In our wedding video. It's
Send
really
me
fun.
that link so that we can have a little bit playing in the episode too, because that would be super cool to share. Okay, cool. So you've been married for like what, 5 months now?
Yeah.
Oh, how exciting.
It's been really fun. Married life is super cool. We got together, and then COVID happened. So COVID kind of sped up our relationship a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't be happier. I never thought I would meet this man.
Yay. I love so much. But let's get into bachelorette parties.
Yes.
So much spicy, the fun part.
So much fun.
Yes. So rapid fire, let's get into it. Where was your bachelorette?
Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Austin,
Good
Texas.
choice.
6th Street, Domain. We had a whole weekend.
Okay. Yes. So that was my next question. How long was it?
Weekend. We did
weekend.
Friday, Saturday, and then left kind of like middle of the day Sunday.
Okay. Nice. I feel like that's a good amount of time.
Oh,
not too rushed, but it's also like you're not lingering and having a lot of like laid back time. How many people did you have with you, and who are they to you?
Just my two best friends in the whole world. Their names are Jamie and Jessica. They are literally like everything about them is just amazing.
Aww.
They're like the perfect opposites of each other too. Jessica is super like, it's gonna be okay, and Jamie's like, get it together. Like, so I love them, my best friends.
And did they know each other prior as well?
No.
Oh, wow.
They met like basically they've met a couple times before our shower, but they really kind of like got to know each other we had a couple shower, so that's when they actually had time to sit down and be like, so what do you think about Felicia, kind of thing.
So spill the tea on Felicia, everybody. Okay, cool. I love that about batch parties, that you're able to bring people from your different sides of life together before the wedding, because there's not enough time during the wedding weekend for people to like actually bond.
Right.
So yeah, that batch party is some good bonding time.
Oh yeah. It takes the awkwardness away from the getting ready time. It's just like,
yeah. That'd be like, your first time meeting, you're like, hey, time for hair and makeup, or time to get Felicia married. Okay. So was there a theme for your batch party?
No,
Okay.
no, we didn't do any theme. Everything was shades of blue, even for our wedding. So literally that was it. Shades of blue. Go wild with it. There was we wanted it to be just kind of fun.
Yeah.
So we didn't make it strict themes, or we just had kind of a timeline we wanted to follow on what we wanted to do, and that was it.
Nice. In that timeline, did you guys stick to it?
No, we did not end up going to a pool. We were like adamant about finding a place with a pool. Ended up not doing that.
Yep.
We ended up, even the tattoos. Super random.
Really?
Not planned.
Not planned.
At all. We
I love it.
had a little bit too much fun at the Domain the Friday before, and we're like, let's go get tattoos tomorrow. And then we found a place called Tiny Tats, Austin, Texas.
They're so good.
So good.
Yes.
Went, and we're like,
Can we
coming up with ideas in the car on the way, and we're like, let's do this.
Oh my God. I love that it was like maybe a drunken idea, but turned into like, we're still doing it the next day. It wasn't, it didn't fade away with.
Not at all.
Yeah. I love that. So I guess we could, so what inspired those two? So if you're not watching, this is a cocktail cup. I don't know.
Yes.
Like a daiquiri or some sort of margarita or something. And then she's got a little dancing avocado, and it is so cute.
I love my avocado. It's super bright.
Yes. Yeah.
It literally was just like, my friend Jessica was like, hey, you like avocados. I like avocados. Let's get an avocado tattoo. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. She has the seed in hers, and mine. They're saying hi to each other. And then our cocktails, Jamie and Jessica both got wine. I'm not a wine drinker. I like fruity cocktails. So that's why I got this. And we have our pictures at our wedding too, with our bouquets and our tattoos.
With the tattoos.
Yeah.
How cute.
It was super fun.
That is like, I've never heard that, and I'm jealous that I didn't do that with my bridesmaids at my bachelorette party. We talked about getting like the permanent bracelets. That was as far as we got. And we were also in Fredericksburg. Like, I don't think there's a tattoo parlor in Fredericksburg.
Probably not.
Yeah. So Bridal Babes, if you're not from Texas, Austin is, it's got 1 million people, and it is like the drinking capital of the state. Also the live music capital of the nation. So it's like a very rowdy town. Fredericksburg, on the other hand, is wine country, and it's like everything closes by like 8 p.m. So I'd be interested to know if there's a tattoo parlor there, actually. I want to know now. I'm going to look it up. Not right now, but later. I will find out. And I will get my next tattoo there if there is one. Yeah. Because my wedding's also in Fredericksburg. I love Fredericksburg.
How cool.
So, okay. So back to the rapid fire. Was it a classy batch or a sassy batch?
Definitely sassy.
Yay.
Definitely sassy. It was, I have video.
Okay.
It was fun.
Not safe for work video? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
So what was your drink of choice for the weekend?
Deep Eddy's lemon and water.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have water to stay hydrated.
You're basically drinking lemonade at that point.
Exactly. That was the drink of choice the whole weekend was Deep Eddy. I mean, even my bridesmaids, Deep Eddy, except for Jessica. She's a little fancier. She stuck with old fashions.
Okay.
For some of the
bougie.
Yes, for some of the weekend, but Deep Eddy's lemon. And we were in Austin. You have to have Deep Eddy's when you're in Austin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Deep Eddy lemon with club soda. That's my go-to when I'm out, because it's easy, and they're like no matter who the bartender is, it's going to be okay.
Right. They can't mess it up.
Exactly. They really can't unless they don't put enough Deep Eddy. And then it's like, come on.
Right.
Is this a splash of lemon in my water? Okay. So 2 more questions. What was the craziest moment over the weekend?
Okay. Saturday, 2 a.m. on 6th Street. We were leaving like green light something. They have
Green light social hour?
Yes. Oh my God. They have the Capri
Oh, I know
Suns.
that. Yeah.
Oh God. Horrible. I was adamant about finding the Via 313 food truck. That was not there anymore. But I was like adamant about it. So I almost got hit by an Uber because I was like, I'm finding this food truck. Like, it is here. I need Via 313 in my life. And people like were trying to, it's not here. It's not here anymore.
You almost legit got hit by an Uber?
Yeah, legit got hit by an Uber. My friend Jamie was like, pulled me back, and that's why I said she's like the get it together friend. Like,
she's the reel him back in.
Yeah, that was her.
Gosh.
She was like, get it together. And then Jessica's on my other side. She's like, it's okay. We're gonna get Via 313 tomorrow. We will do it. I'm calling them right now. Yeah, literally. She's like, I'm Googling it. We're gonna find where it is.
I love that. You need that yin and yang in your life always.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you didn't get hit by your Uber.
Me too.
Or not even your Uber, just a random Uber.
Random Uber. I mean, I should have stopped, but I was like, pizza. I need pizza in my life.
It's honest. I've heard of, I think I know 2 or 3 people who have been hit by cars in downtown Austin.
Yeah. It looks like it would be quick and easy.
Yeah.
To they do not pay attention.
Yeah. Especially at 2 a.m. People are walking around and so I'm glad you're okay. And what was your favorite moment from the batch party?
Probably getting the tattoos. It was kind of like where we all became like one like unit kind of thing. Like my 2 best friends coming together, and now we all have tattoos that kind of like bind us together forever. Yeah. I loved that. That was my favorite because both of them are so special to me for completely different reasons. They're 2 completely different people. So the tattoos was my favorite of the whole weekend. It was just awesome.
That's so special. And you get to like have that memory literally so close to you every day.
Every day. I always look at them and I'm like, oh, like my 2 best friends.
Aww, literally so cute. To my best friends out there, I would love for you to suggest that we get matching tattoos and make it seem like it's your idea, even though it's mine. / it's Felicia's.
Do it. It's so much fun. Tiny Tats, Austin, Texas. Best place.
Yes.
Best place.
So now that we've covered a rapid fire, is there anything else you want to share about that, like specifics about that weekend? I mean, we're going to probably talk a lot about it when we respond to these questions, but if there was anything else that you were like, this really stood out to me over the weekend that you want to just throw out there really quickly? I
mean, my bridesmaids made everything too. Also, like they made our shirts. I had my husband tattoos.
Yes.
They made literally, we had like these cutout rings and cutout things that they made.
That shall not be said on the podcast.
Can't say it. Can't say it. Use imagination. But literally, they made it with a Cricut. Like everything was made.
Wow.
It was super awesome. We had our emergency bags for, the next day that had like my wedding hashtag on it. It just, everything felt so like special the whole weekend. It was really cool.
Yeah. And you guys are Cricut girls, right? You're saying like your wedding, a lot of it was Cricut.
Yeah. Everything was made like etched bottles. We literally made stencils and painted etching solution on liquor bottles. Every bottle was different too. So every bottle had a significant meaning to mine and my husband's like life.
Wow.
Palettes. We made palettes with our dogs' paintings on them that we used a Cricut for stenciling, like their dog paws. Like everything had a little bit of Cricut in it.
Oh my gosh. I need to get one. It's been on my like list of things that like, hey, if you're thinking about getting me something for my birthday, and it's just never been.
It's worth it. It is so worth it. It is awesome to use. Yeah. Even like the next day, I had a like white jumpsuit made with like our last name on it. Aww. That I literally just bought white clothes and did it. It was really cool. Wait, Cricuts are awesome.
Yeah, you'll have to send me a picture of that too.
Yeah, for sure.
We need to see that. Okay, so let's get into Reddit What it. The gold of the internet. And of course, you guys already know, today we're going to be specifically talking about Bachelorette stories. So our first one is from the wedding subreddit, and it's titled $2,500 Bachelorette Trip. My friend wants to go on a vacation to Disneyland for her bachelorette party for a 4-day trip. We drafted a budget that it will be able to be $2,500 each. The other two girls I'm planning this with are excited, and inside I'm cringing so hard. This is so unreasonable. How can I humble the group without being a complete party pooper?
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Ooh, $2,500 per person.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That is a lot, especially considering, like, you know, the time off too.
Yes.
That you're missing
Money
out
lost.
on money.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's hard. That's
Yeah.
really hard and then you have to buy your bridesmaid's dress. Everything you have to do for the wedding day on top of, that's hard.
Yeah, like this is just a bachelorette party.
$2,500.
And 4 days at Disneyland, that's a lot.
Yeah, on top of eating at Disneyland. I mean, if it included that in the $2,500, who knows? That's
Right.
That's hard.
Like, is that just airfare, travel,
Airbnb,
housing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I think for my bachelorette party, I want to say people spent like, and depending on if they were flying in or not, if they had to buy a ticket to get here, it was probably around like $700 total, because we had the Airbnb, we had little gifts that we got for everybody, there was food, we did a wine tour. So, you know, I still am like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you guys had to pay that much. But for the people who weren't, you know, flying in, it was like around a $500 3-day weekend.
Yeah,
so,
and that's not bad. I mean, how often do like us girls get to be like, let's have a girls' weekend, you know? But I mean, $2,500. I feel like if that was my friend, I would have to like say, hey, like I love you, but there is no way that I can swing that and make that happen.
Yeah, so I wonder if there's some sort of balance in the equation here, that maybe this friend can join them for just like 1 day. Right. Or is it even worth it to fly and be there for just 1 day?
Yeah.
Could they potentially talk about just doing 2 days at Disney and then 2 days somewhere else? Because Disney is the expensive part. It's not flying to, I think Disneyland is in Florida, or is that the one in California?
I think it's
California. Thank you, Brianna. So it is expensive to fly into LA, but it's not going to be like, you know, thousands of dollars to get there. You know, maybe like $200 to $400.
Well, and everything in California is so expensive too.
Housing, gas, renting a car, food.
I mean, maybe there's something like, if this bridesmaid lives by the bride, maybe say like, hey, there's no way I can make it, but maybe I could take you out.
Right. Maybe we could have like a small
spa. I'll take you for some massages.
Like,
let's go get some massages.
Let's do a hotel night nearby. Yeah.
Right.
Like something fun and special. And it's okay. Like, I think a lot of people feel this pressure, like, oh, I'm a bridesmaid, I have to do everything, I have to be present. Right. And if that's what your bride wants from you, then that needs to be communicated. But you shouldn't feel that pressure,
right?
Unless it's been spoken outright,
right?
Your expectations.
Well, see, and I think like I actually had to deal with this with a bridesmaid of mine that she ended up not being a bridesmaid, but I had told her, like, if you can't do it, just tell me ahead of time, instead of like, we're making these plans and we're adding you to the equation, and then you tell me last minute. That's when I got upset. It was like, okay, if you can't do it, tell me now rather than later. Like, if I would love for you to be standing behind me, I don't care if you make it to the rest of it, but be honest with me about it, instead of, oh, well, yeah, I can be there, and then 2 days before you're like, sorry, can't do it, you know? Like, I think that also, the communication has to be there, and I think people it's kind of awkward for them to talk about it, but it has to be talked about, especially if you're going to be in a wedding. Yeah,
and I think maybe people are a bit apprehensive to bring things up to the bride because they don't want to, like, ruin the bride's special experiences.
Right.
But it's better to say, hey, I cannot afford this, I'm going to sit this one out, than wait until a week before and like ghost, or a week before and then tell them, because they've already, now someone has to cover your fee for the hotel.
And now it's everybody that's affected. And it's not just like, it could have been cleared up in the beginning.
Yes.
So yeah. I think having the open dialogue about it is a lot better than being like, oh yeah, I can try, and then, you know.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be embarrassing, like, you know, if no matter what you're doing with your money, like that's your business, you know? You don't have to explain why you don't want to spend $2,500 on a trip to Disneyland. Like that to me, like no offense to Disney people out there, that doesn't excite me. Like a 4-day trip to Disneyland, I'm okay with 1 day, but I don't want to be there for 4 days. No. That's so overwhelming and like overstimulating for me. And so I could imagine, you know, even if she had $2,500, it's like for Disneyland, really?
That's like 2 or 3 car payments.
Yeah. And it's like we're like barely even paying attention to the bride and celebrating the bride at that point because we're so distracted
trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, trying to get in line for the ride and trying to like figure out reservations for lunch at these like places at Disneyland. I don't know. I just think it would be I would highly recommend highly recommend that OP speaks honestly with her bride because, you know, hopefully you're a good friend of hers and you feel comfortable speaking to her about where you're coming from. And I don't think she says at the end, how can I humble the group without being a complete party pooper? Girl, it's not your job to tell the group what they need to do. No. Like, you don't need to humble anybody. You need to maybe humble yourself a little bit in the kindest way possible and speak to your friend. Like, this is a you thing. Because the rest of the group is all on board and you shouldn't make people change their plans just because you aren't wanting to spend the money. Make an alternative plan for you and your bride, or everybody. Like, invite them out to dinner. Say, let's go out for drinks. You know, I'm so sorry I can't be there for this, but I want to plan this experience with you guys. Right. You know, so there's definitely a solution. Don't avoid communication.
Do not. That makes the brides way more stressed out.
Yeah. So top comment says, if you don't want to spend the money, then I would bow out. Not everyone is in the financial situation to afford this type of thing. And someone responds, yes, saying no is completely fine. Agreed. And then, another person responds, is there a way to cut the expenses, like carpool instead of fly, stay at a less fancy hotel, etc.? Personally, I'd just back out of the trip. Say you love them, but you're sorry, it's just too much money. And let the chips fall where they may. They can spend money if they want, or they can realize it's insane and scale back. Either way, you're out of the issue. So I think it's pretty similar to what we said. Actually, and someone says here, let her know the budget you're comfortable with. Say, I have $900. That's all I'm willing to spend. How can I meet you in this experience? Right. You know? So I think that's a good way to handle it too. Like, let her know where you're coming from. This is what I was expecting to spend. This is what I have to spend. Can we figure something out?
Yeah, and maybe I like that idea. Yeah. That's a good one.
And maybe that looks like just, you two having a girls' night out or a girls' day at a spa or something. Right. And doing something nice for her, or just saving that money for like a wedding present or something. You know, I'm sure, again, if you're a good friend with this bride and hopefully the bride is a reasonable human being, she'll be okay with the fact that you are advocating for yourself.
Right. And being honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Making time for yourself while you're planning your wedding can be pretty difficult. Trust me, I get it. But with the Sweaty Studio, it can actually be pretty easy. Callie's approach to Pilates on her app is accessible for anybody, no matter where you're at in your health and fitness journey, no matter how much time you have in your day, and no matter what equipment you have at your house. Her attitude toward fitness is all about self-love and just feeling better in your body. Nothing about that toxic mentality of shredding for the wedding. And I'm super excited to let you guys know that Callie and the Sweaty Studio are offering 1 free month to all of you Bridal Babes with the code BUZZ. You'll get access to that February self-love challenge that's going on right now. And you'll also be able to get started on the March challenge that's coming up. But with that, you'll also get access to all of her videos from 5 minutes to 40 minutes. Some are meditations, some are workouts, and all of them are geared toward a more positive and uplifting mentality for you. So make sure you head to sweatystudio.com, type in that code BUZZ, B-U-Z-Z, for 1 free month access to Sweaty Studio. And if you're joining us on these monthly challenges, please let me know in the comments, slide into my DMs. I want to know, and we can hold each other accountable and have fun with it. So again, sweatystudio.com, code BUZZ for 1 free month.
Next story.
Is that your husband?
Yeah, that's my fiance.
Or fiance.
Yeah,
That's
so
cute.
so you had
Tattoos.
My maid of honor made stickers.
That's awesome.
They're slowly fading, guys. I think I'm just gonna get a custom phone case with him all over it because I love it so much. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I love you. You know? Anybody else? Okay. Let's see. This is also from the wedding subreddit. And Bridal Babes, I've just, I'm so sorry I'm not reading usernames out loud. I tried to the first time I did an episode like this, and I completely butchered all of them. And I just think it's best if I avoid doing that. So if you want to find the usernames for these, I'll try my best to link all these stories in the description of these episodes so you can see and like communicate with this person if you're like looking to reach out to OP. Okay, so back to the story. The title is Bachelorette. Should I go on the wine tour if I don't drink? My friend's bachelorette party is coming up and they've booked a wine tour. It's $150 per person and I'm pregnant, so I'm not drinking. The company doesn't give discounts for those not drinking. Money aside, should I even go on the wine tour if I'm not drinking? I feel like I'll be totally left out. Maybe it's better if I stay home. On the flip side, I'd show my support to the bride by attending.
I would want my pregnant friend to come. I mean, I would still include her. Like, it sucks that she can't drink, but
yeah.
I mean, we could still have fun.
Yeah.
You know, I'd hate to be like, you're pregnant and maybe you shouldn't come. Come on with it.
Right.
More the merrier. Let's party.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's probably up to her, like
Right.
what feels right for her and her body. But if it comes down to money, I'd be like, girl, I'll help you pay for that. Like,
Right.
I'll drink the wine that you're
You can.
Exactly. I'll drink for 2 today, right?
Right.
Because if money's the issue, that can be a conversation.
Right.
But if it is really her feeling like she doesn't want to be there because she can't drink, first of all, where is that coming from? Is it like you don't want to be tempted? It makes you sad to be around people drinking because you can't drink? Or do you just not want to be around a bunch of drunk people when you're not on that level? Like, there could be a lot of different reasons for her not wanting to be there. Or does she physically just not want to be around, like,
Right.
going on a wine tour when she's pregnant? I don't think there's much danger involved with that if she's avoiding the alcohol, unless people get too rowdy on the wine tour bus and maybe, like, I don't know. It is interesting that the wine tour company doesn't give discounts.
Yeah. You would think, like, I'm for sure not going to be drinking.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant. I'm just going to be, like an extra person.
literally.
Yeah. Like, here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were paying, like, even, like, $50 because of your seat. Like,
Yes.
that's cool. Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, that's crazy that they wouldn't give.
Yeah, so from my experience, we did a wine tour on my bachelorette party, and it was $200 a person. And for those who were not drinking, it was half the price because just like travel fees, I guess, like being in the limo to and from, they just had to charge a cost per person. But they weren't going to charge you for the wine tour or like the wine tastings that you weren't going to do. So I think it's interesting. I mean, not that this has anything to do with helping this person, but I'm just like, why are they not giving a discount? That's a little bit odd. And I wonder if this OP is the kind of person to where they're like, oh, there's no discount. I literally, like, I can't morally subject myself to that.
Yeah.
Like, I know there are some people that are a little bit like, no, that's crazy. I can't even process. Nope, I can't even think about it. And they'll just not open themselves up to the idea of participating because they think $150 is too crazy. Anyway, how do we respond to this? Does she go? Does she go to support the bride? How would you recommend she handles this?
I feel like there's like questions back to her. Like, are you just not comfortable being around people who are intoxicated? Or you really just feel like you just may be boring to the group? If that's how she feels, I would say go. Like, you could still have a blast.
Yeah.
You know? If it was my friend, I would want her to come.
Yeah,
You
me
know?
too.
I wouldn't want her to feel left out because she's pregnant.
Right.
So...
And I think I'm imagining me and my friends when we were a couple tastings deep. I just imagine like the conversations about her. Like I'd be like, I'm so excited for your baby. Like,
Right.
can I please feel him kicking? Like I would just be like her number one fan in those moments, more
Right.
than being like,
Why can't you drink?
Yeah, like
I wish you could drink.
join in on the fun. You know, it's like
Yeah.
what? Like
Then are they your friends?
yeah,
like
exactly.
at that point.
Support her in her pregnancy. Hopefully, you know, there's not a lot of pressure either way. I hope she just feels good with the decision she makes. So the first comment, the top comment, says, personally, I think this is a question only you know the answer to, because I would totally still go. I would love to be a part of the memories, and if it was a true wine tour, I'd enjoy learning about the wineries. You could still taste and spit, but the thing is, I'm a wine enthusiast. I would find value in this trip where others would not. So you see, it's a question that only you can answer. Edit. Talk to the bride about it and see how she feels. Yeah. Somebody responds to this comment saying, I stopped drinking about a year ago when I started TTC. I don't know what that is. And I went to a bachelorette party during that time where the plan was to do a wine tour. I went and had a great time. All of the wineries are beautiful, and I liked just hanging out. I also found that a few wineries had non-alcoholic options and also snacks, but that's something that I was comfortable with risking and didn't want to miss out on the fun. Yeah, I think it really does come down to what do they know deep down what they want to do. Yeah. They, you know, if they don't want to go and they're looking for any excuse to not have to go, they are just going to have to face their own truth and like, again, be honest about what they're wanting to do in this situation. So
I used to go, I had a friend that she loved going out to bars and hanging out, and I would go with her. I don't drink very often. I would literally take a pint of ice cream, chocolate ice cream, and Takis, and I would sit at the bar eating Takis and ice cream.
Oh my God,
I would buy a soda so that I could tip the bartender, but I mean, I still liked going and just hanging out at the bar and people watching. So, I mean, I feel like she would still have fun,
right?
Regardless.
Yeah. Like, if you're ready to have fun, fun will be had.
Right.
But if you're not ready to be having fun, maybe just stick this one out. Another comment. I just went on a bachelorette weekend pregnant. I'm glad I went. It was a chance to bond with the ladies and support my friend. It was expensive, and I did struggle being the sober one, but I'm glad I went.
See, I like that.
Yeah. And I did have one of my bridal party members decided not to come to my bachelorette party because it was going to be centered around alcohol the entire time in the wine country, and they're sober. And I totally was like, thank you for respecting your needs here.
Right.
Because I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position. I don't want you to feel compromised, you know,
forced peer pressure,
or feel like you have to disassociate from what's happening around you because, you know, like you're like, I'm not here, like I'm not around the alcohol, it's fine. Like I didn't want to put them in that situation. So I think, you know, it's up to her. Again, just advocate for yourself, advocate for your needs, recognize where this is coming from. Is it because I'm pregnant? Is it because I just don't want to be around a bunch of drinking people? Like what's the reason here?
Right.
And then like, is that reason healthy? How do I communicate that to the bride?
Yeah.
And then go from there. Yeah. But we wish you luck. Nomad 15346895431.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. Okay. So here's a cute one. My maid of honor threw me a Beyonce-themed bachelorette party, and I died of happiness. And they posted this picture, and it has like says fiance, but like spelled like Beyonce.
That is so cute. With the ring.
There's a ring underneath it. There's some hats that say like just drunk in love, I slay, #fiance. Yeah, there's a lot of drunken love stuff. I just think it's so cute. I'm so here for committing to themes, and like this is such a fun one.
Yeah, that's super fun.
Yeah. So single ladies, no more fiance at the bachelorette party. I tried to have a theme for my batch party, but it ended up being like 2 different themes because I just came up with like this cute pun of being on cloud wine. I didn't come up with it. It's not like it was like, I didn't coin it, but I wanted it to be on cloud wine. And then I realized that the big event that we were doing, I wanted everybody to be disco cowgirl themed. So I'm like, I don't know how this is incorporated back into the like overarching theme of on cloud wine. But everybody's going to dress disco cowgirl and we're going to go drink wine.
That's fun.
And so Saturday was a disco cowgirl day. And there was no really like, my maid of honor made little wine stoppers with on cloud wine on top. So that was incorporated,
Cute.
but there was no other like thematic element about on cloud wine. It was way more like disco cowgirl. Like our photo backdrop had like sparkly disco themed stuff, and so I tried. It didn't work out so well. I mean, it worked out perfectly. Like it was super fun.
Right.
But my on cloud wine, I didn't really have a lot of intention behind it. I just thought it was fun and cute, and so I was like hashtag on cloud wine. Like if you were to have had a theme, what would you have done?
My friends make fun of me, but I wanted to do Marvel. I'm like obsessed, okay? I have Marvel tattoos.
Yes.
So I would have loved to dress like superheroes, but my girls are like, I love you, but no.
Lame.
I know. I had like a few Marvel hints at my wedding, actually, like very minute. Like there's some subtle Marvel touches.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were like, no. It's like, but we could dress like superheroes and go bar hopping.
Literally, how fun would that be?
Right?
Oh, so
but
unique.
We ended up just getting dressed up like cute because we also don't do that often. So that was kind of also a theme. Like, let's get dressed up and go out.
Yeah.
Like,
let's just be a bunch of sassy, sexy girls.
Exactly.
Yeah, love that. The top comment on this post says, I love it when maid of honors take their job seriously. Looks like it was a fun night. Yes. Seriously, like there are two types of people in the world, the ones that entertain and the ones that observe. Britney Spears said it best. And this is true with things this. You really see the type of person someone is when you give them a task. And when the maid of honor, like my maid of honor, slayed. These stickers, slay. The photo backdrop she made, slay. She literally came here from California with a giant suitcase full of decorations for a backyard brunch that I wanted to do. And we barely even got to do it because it was so cold and windy. But like she literally, she understood the assignment and she showed up and she got an A+.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So OP responds to that comment and says, right? Man, she absolutely killed it. She thought of every last detail, and I got goosebumps when I saw it all. So special.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's just like, I know a lot of bachelorette and like wedding in general can get, we talk about it sometimes of like, are you doing it for you? Or are you doing it for social media? Like, where is it coming from? And I feel like some of these bachelorette setups can start leaning into the like, oh, it's do it for the picture, and then like everyone can you take it once I take the picture, and it's like that's fine. I also like taking cute pictures and making sure we get pictures of things before people dig into them, but it's like, are you doing it for you or are you doing it for the gram?
Right.
And it's moments like these where she's just so thankful. And, like, all she wants to do is thank her maid of honor. And that's why she's sharing this picture. Not to be, like, showing off or anything.
Hashtag Beyonce, look at this.
She's literally just like, my maid of honor is the best. And it got, like, 230 upvotes, which is a lot for the wedding subreddit. And a lot of people are commenting, which is just so great. And I think Bridal Babes, if you're planning a bachelorette party, if you are, getting close to that batch party date, just remember, like, it's the little things that matter most.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the fun moments with your best friends. That was my favorite.
Yeah, and it's like when your friends do these little things for you like this, like just making you feel so special. There's nothing else like that in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If there's one thing that we all know and understand about weddings, it's that there's a lot to learn in not a lot of time. That's why I love Nicole Maher's jewelry and services.
working with gemologist Nikki at Nicole Mara is like taking the funnest crash course on gems and metals that you could ever have, all while shopping for your own jewelry. And Nikki is offering 10% off wedding bands when you mention Bridal Buzz during your consultation. Nikki has amazing band options that you can browse through on her website, NicoleMara.com, but you can also work with her to create something custom to your liking. Consultations are super easy to set up and are such an incredible way to get connected to the woman behind the brand who is potentially designing your band. How cool is that? So if you're looking for those timeless, unique wedding bands, make sure you head to NicoleMara.com today, schedule your consultation, and mention Bridal Buzz for 10% off of those bands. Again, mention Bridal Buzz for 10% off of those bands. Okay. Next story. So this is also from the wedding subreddit. I think every story I'm going to be pulling out, for the majority, if I don't say it's from a different subreddit, it's from the wedding subreddit. So the title is Bachelorette Suggestions for a Modest Bride. I am planning a bachelorette party for my future sister-in-law, 22, and I am in need of activity suggestions. She is a very fun, bubbly person, but I don't think she'd be comfortable with the standard bar hopping, Magic Mike type of bachelorette party, as she is pretty modest, conservative. She does drink, but is more of a one glass of wine versus a shot of tequila girl, LOL. We will also have one bridesmaid under 21 and another who is pregnant. I really want to make sure she feels comfortable with the itinerary and has a great time. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. So I kind of wish I knew where they were located, or where the bachelorette party was going to be. And I'm going to see if they say anything in the comments.
And like time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Like
how many days?
Yeah.
What time
or like
of year?
even what time, yeah. Like, oh, you could do a pool party theme or go float the river or
Yeah, I don't think OP is responding to any comments on here, so I'm not getting any more information from them about those things. But I feel like, so on the Sunday of my bachelorette party, we did a hike.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it was super fun. If people wanted to have a little bit to drink beforehand, they could, but it was also like...
Good luck. I couldn't imagine.
I think we had like a mimosa before we went. But we had already, we did Friday and Saturday full drinking. So we were like good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that hike was super fun. I also think... if you're in a small town or even a big town, like going and finding local stores to check out, like little boutiques.
I love boutiques.
Like in Austin, there's the SoCo strip where there's a lot of, it's not as much local as it used to be, but there's a lot of small businesses with really fun, eclectic things that you can find. In Fredericksburg, there's like a downtown main street where there's a lot of local businesses with like handcrafted goods and like homemade like goat milk lotion and all these random things. Cool. So I think no matter where you are, there's always going to be something to do. Like
do a hair mask and skin mask.
Yes, have people come to your house and do like a spa day, maybe, right? Like there might be a local company that has like on location massages. They can do like 15 minutes per person. Do like a movie night.
Yeah, there are so many different things you watch. What's the bride? Isn't it called Bridesmaids?
Yeah, Bridesmaids with
sit down
Kristen
and watch
Wiig.
that.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a lot you can do without like going bar hopping.
Yes, I also really wanted to do a PowerPoint night with my bridesmaids, but I waited too long. It was something that was like lingering, and I just didn't have the guts to ask them, and then I waited too long to ask them, and so I was like, never mind. Too much pressure. I'm so sorry. I knew it was the wrong thing to suggest. But I really did want to do like, I wanted me and Jackson, my fiance, to be like the topic, and then whatever they wanted to gear it toward.
Awesome. That's a really good idea.
Right?
I haven't seen that before.
And then I was going to do a PowerPoint about all of them. Like have some
That's
sort of
cute.
theme about all of my bridesmaids. But it just didn't happen. But that could be something super fun, especially for a 22-year-old bride.
Yeah.
I'm 27, so I'm just on the cusp of Gen Z and millennial, but these Gen Zers, they are satisfied with sitting on the floor watching PowerPoint night with popcorn in their hand.
Yes.
And I actually feel like, I don't know if statistically drinking has gone down, but I
don't know.
feel like kids these days have chilled a little bit.
Yes. So I actually used to bartend. That's how I met my husband.
Okay.
And I mean, like, even now, like going to the bars, it's so different.
Yeah.
So different. It's not like what it was pre-COVID.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
people do not go out anymore. And that's, I mean, you can see even on New Year's, look at the neighborhoods that just like fireworks everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like New Year's used to be a huge bar night. Everyone likes to be at home now and sit with their families or friends and do things. We have game nights at our house all the time.
Yes.
Like, love Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
Like, all day.
Like a bunko night? That might seem like, I don't know, weird, but that could be fun if there's enough of you. Or,
exactly.
If it is summertime and you guys are near, like, swimming.
Yeah.
Swimming could be fun. A little day trip to the beach could be really fun. I feel like the most important thing here, OP, is not to overthink it.
Right.
Because no matter what you're doing, as long as you're not bar hopping and going to strip clubs, it'll be fun. No matter if people decide to drink or not for those experiences. And you might be surprised by your bride this weekend. She might want to let loose a little bit. She might want to take that tequila shot that she usually doesn't take. So I would ask her, you know, like, do you want to go to bars, even if it's just for a couple hours? You don't have to be out till 2 a.m, but let's go get some free drinks, 10 to 11:30 or like 9 to 10 p.m. We'll commit to being out. If we want to stay out, we can. If we want to go back home and play a board game or watch a movie, then we can do that too.
You don't have to have alcohol at every party to have fun.
Yeah.
You could do it without it.
Exactly. You could do so many things.
And there are a lot of bars that are becoming like the non-alcoholic bars now. I think they actually have a club in Austin that it's a non-alcoholic club.
No way.
Yeah, so there's a lot of places that you can go and have a fancy drink that doesn't have alcohol in it.
Yeah. Wow, that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Accessibility for everybody. Good times all around.
Right.
Yeah. Because just because you're not drinking doesn't mean you don't want to have a good time.
Right.
Which again, like going back to this OP, just because your bride doesn't drink a lot doesn't mean she's not trying to have a good time. And so, yeah, I would just think about who she is as a person. Maybe you guys, like, I like painting pottery. That's so fun.
Cool.
Yeah, like going to a pottery place or like a painting with a twist type of a place.
I've always wanted to go and do something like that. I just saw there's like this spin painting place. We went axe throwing and they had this place. It's like a booth and you put a painting and you just like spin it and paint gets everywhere. Yeah.
I had one of those when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like a little at home.
Yes.
Spinning.
It's like that.
Made like tie-dye pattern. No way.
Yes. And it's literally connected to an axe throwing place. So that's even something you could do. Is go axe throwing.
Escape rooms, all of these things.
Exactly. So many different
Instagram,
things.
Selfie, museums.
Yes.
You know, so many fun things to do. So OP, the world is your oyster. Don't feel constricted by this idea of, the bride not being a huge drinker. So top comment says spa day. High tea somewhere, pottery painting, or a paint night? What about a tour of something she's always been interested in, or a day of playing tourist in the location you're going? A scavenger hunt, and it finishes at a great restaurant or a board game place? We're probably going to go see a ball game and then go out afterwards. Yeah, I actually, when I was a maid of honor, we went and saw the Astros play in Houston.
See, that's super cool.
Yeah. There are so many things to do. I didn't even think about a high tea. That's just not my cup of tea. I'm just kidding. I've never been to one. I just don't even know. It's not where my mind goes. But could be fun if you guys are bougie. Why not dress up and go do a fancy tea date? But yeah, so alcohol or not, good times are going to be had. Yeah. Okay, I found another one from the wedding subreddit. It's titled Bachelorette Debacle, ... help, all caps.
Ooh.
All right, bear with me. Long story short, one of my friends was supposed to have her wedding last May, but due to COVID, she had a smaller ceremony, got married, and ended up having a baby within the year. Fast forward to now, she's having another big wedding in April. We were supposed to have her bachelorette last May, but due to COVID, we ended up canceling it. We pushed it out to this February, and her maid of honor scrambled to plan it. I originally planned on going, but I ended up not being able to go because of working at a hospital, understaffed due to COVID, of course. So I let them know a month in advance that I couldn't go. I got a text from the maid of honor asking me for my $427 for the bachelorette party that I didn't go to. The maid of honor got into a huge argument with me saying I needed to pay my portion and it wasn't fair to all the other girls. Am I being ridiculous, or why would I pay $500 for a weekend I couldn't go to and gave them a month's notice? She kept saying, oh, it's been planned for a year now, etc., etc., etc. Except it wasn't. In reality, it was thrown together in December, and once I got my work schedule, I let them know. How do I even go about this situation, especially because now I have to be in this wedding with this girl? SOS, help.
I would not pay. I would not. My best friend, she's a surgical tech, and I mean, her schedule is crazy. It could change in a second.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that they have to be flexible with. She didn't go and enjoy it. It wasn't planned, ahead of time. COVID was,
yeah,
obviously
it was very real
at that time.
Yeah, this was it looks like it was in 2021 that they wrote this.
Yeah, so I mean that was like, in knee deep in it. Mm-hmm. So they have to be understanding too. So I mean, depending on how many girls that are in this bridal party, right. I mean, split the $500 between everyone. Yeah. It's not. I mean, she couldn't make it. Why make her pay for it?
Yeah, if it were like a 6 months out, they had told her and like we're looking for a commitment, right. That's different. But the fact that it was planned 2 months before,
right,
and they were probably aware that she's like, hey, I need to, get my work schedule back and then I'll let you know. And I think it's hard if you're not in the medical industry. I mean, I'm not, but I have family members that are, to understand the kind of right. Responsibility and pressure there is to those jobs, like you said, you can't just not be there. Yeah. Like people are relying on you, and sometimes you have to be making changes last minute in your schedule. Yeah. But she's, probably in a situation where she can't just ask off, especially when they were understaffed. You feel morally responsible to right. be there.
And they're still understaffed. I mean, my friend, she works like crazy, and then it's kind of like one of those like, oh well, if I take off, that's gonna affect like such and such person. I don't mm-hmm. want to put that pressure on them either. So I feel bad for her. I wouldn't pay.
Yeah,
sorry,
it's hard. I think in some situations it would be a different answer, but in this specific one, yeah, I think her job comes first.
Yeah,
and the bride literally already got married. Like it's not, and I don't want to say it's like lesser in value because of that, but the bride's already been married. She literally already has a baby. She's going to have another wedding ceremony. And I think there would be, oh, bless you, Fritz. Bless you. Another one? Okay, no. He's good. I think it would be a different story if COVID hadn't come into play and there right. weren't reschedules of the weddings, and like they had already planned a different bachelorette party and this was a replan of the bachelorette. So she had committed to the original one. She was going to be there. So it's kind of a sticky situation.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's very kind of the bride or the maid of honor to be pressuring her in this kind of way. I feel like that's kind of inappropriate. Like, I get asking if she's comfortable with contributing to it, since it's, it's going to be an expensive weekend, being like, hey, I understand. Is there any way you could still cover, what it would have cost for you specifically to be in whatever housing like yeah. that? I understand.
Well, and was this posted after the bachelorette party? So did the weekend already happen and now they're reaching out for, because that's what it kind of like, what it sounded like. They're reaching out for her to pay after the weekend had already passed because she wasn't there.
It looks like it was written actually in 2022. It was 342 days ago. So there's 365 days in a year. So it's probably in January. No. It might have been after the Bachelorette. Yeah. I'm doing my math so wrong. Yeah. Yeah.
So at that point it's like it already happened. You guys already went. Like, and we're clearly just like, I wasn't there.
Yeah. And you were just like assuming that she yeah. would cover her costs.
Right.
Yeah. Communication skills are needed. Yeah. I think, OP, you are not being ridiculous to think that you shouldn't pay for this. And I wish, I don't see any responses. Oh, there's a response, but it was taken down by a moderator. I don't see anything from OP to like give us any closing to this. We don't know. Maybe she had to pay for it. Maybe, was she in the wedding? Did she end up being in the wedding?
Or dropping out?
Are they still friends? I don't know.
Weddings, big events like this in someone's life definitely show who your real friends are too, though.
Yes.
That's the one thing I learned. It's like, I know who my best, closest friends are, and I know who wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, fair weather friends really show their true colors for sure. So top comment, it says, if I'm reading the timeline correctly, and I could be wrong, you intended to go to the original but canceled Bachelorette. Then you intended to go to the newly rescheduled Bachelorette after booking the trip, but before the trip happened, you had to cancel because of work. In that case, I think you should chip in for any Airbnb costs and possibly chip in for the bride if that's custom in your city. I know it sounds unfair, but it's also not fair for the others' costs to increase if you said you were going to go. If they booked it before you agreed to go, that might be different. And I totally agree. And I think that's kind of what I said is like, if they gave her a spot in their Airbnb because she had said she was going to go, I would pay for it. But if she didn't say she was going to go, if she said it's up in the air and they still were like, well, we need to book our Airbnb because it's coming up, that's not on her. No. You know, like y'all waited until the last minute to plan this anyways. So it's not this bridesmaid's fault for that happening. So yeah, I think there are a lot of questions here that are unanswered that would make a difference in how to handle the situation. Specifically, just like what was communicated prior to her saying, oh, I can't go. Right. Oh, I have work.
And what is the 500 for?
Right, exactly. Like, is that for gifts for the bride? Is that things that have already been ordered that you will end up getting after? Because like maybe pay for that, you know, if there's like some custom gifts, like your guys made cricket stuff, like it's not free. No. The materials cost money. Right. No matter if it's DIY or ordered off of Etsy or whatever, it costs money. So make sure you're paying your fair share. Like my bridal party member that didn't come, they're still expected to contribute to, because they let us know last minute too. It was like everything had already been ordered. The Airbnb was taken, like we took them into consideration for it. So
see, in last minute, it's so hard. Like, come on.
Yeah. If you would have told me 2 months ago, it would be different.
Right.
But yeah, so I think it just all depends on the situation. And I hope they can all be friends after this, because also like $500 is a lot of money, but it shouldn't be like earth shattering, like stopping everything from happening. Yeah. Yeah. If it was $5,000, okay, we can,
Back to the first story.
Back to Disneyland, right?
If there's one thing that's always made me nervous when thinking about becoming a bride, it's been the color of my teeth. I've never had the brightest or the whitest smile, so that's why I'm thanking God for Bride Bright. I just put in my order at bridebright.co and was so excited to see that they actually had a couples kit available. So I have a Bride Bright kit and Jackson will have a Groom's Glow kit, and I can't wait to share our results with you guys after spending our 10 minutes for 10 days on working toward a brighter and whiter smile. So if you bridal babes out there also want brighter, whiter teeth, you can use code BUZZ for 40% off your online purchases. Yes, you heard that right. BUZZ for 40% off. All you need is that 10 minutes for 10 days for you to start seeing real results on your smile. I think something like this is so worth it for wedding season, especially since we spend so much on our photography and our videography. So why not have the best, brightest, whitest smile on your big day? I'm also really excited to try their Stay Bright on the Go wipes while I'm drinking red wine for 3 days straight on my bachelorette party. So I will definitely let you guys know how that keeps my smile brighter. And again, head to bridebright.co and use the code BUZZ for 40% off of your purchase.
Okay, I think we have time for one more story. Oh, he's so cute. And I'm going to end it with a sweet one. My future husband just threw me a bachelorette party. My friends are all spread over the country, and I wasn't counting on them for any celebration other than the wedding. But my amazing, loving, and wonderful future husband got them together and threw me the best bachelorette party ever. I can't wait to marry him. 2 weeks. Oh,
That is so sweet.
right? That's what the top comment said. That is so sweet. You've got to keep her. Someone asks, what kind of things did he include? Things that you've always wanted? Things that he knows you love to do with them? And OP responds, he told my friends to take me to one of my favorite restaurants that he had changed to a new menu I was dying to try. Oh, wait, he didn't have it changed. Let me start this over. He told my friends to take me to one of my favorite restaurants that had changed to a new menu I was dying to try. He also told them to take me to dance, since he knows I love it and we don't go. He doesn't like it. It was a really great night and totally unexpected. Aww.
That's super sweet that he put that effort out there for her.
Right?
That's super cool.
That is just, you found love when they go out of their way to make sure you feel special and celebrated and just, like Queen Bee, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I am imagining that this bride, OP, is a very humble bride. She's like, don't worry, you're already going out of your way to be there for my wedding. Like, I don't want to make you guys do anything else. And, like, she sounds like a giver.
Right.
And now it's time for her to receive the love back. And her future husband knew that she deserved it. And, I mean, obviously, the bridesmaids knew she deserved it too because they all showed up.
Yeah.
You
That's super cool that they all came too.
Yes,
That's so
exactly.
cool.
Like, they love her.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah, it's
That's
so good to
awesome.
feel loved.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that's it for today. Is there anything else you want to throw out there? Tips, advice for bachelorette parties?
So I did do the Venmo bracelets.
Okay.
That are like, oh, buy the bride a drink. We completely forgot about them. We had them on the whole night, but we got, drunk and we
Didn't tell anybody.
Nope. Completely
my
forgot about
gosh.
them. So if you guys wanted to do something like that, I would recommend doing the cards. You can just leave laying around because, drunk
Nice.
people are going to be like, oh, yeah, let's buy the bride a
I'll
drink.
Venmo her
Yeah.
$5. Yeah.
And I did actually post on my Facebook. And I had a lot of family send money
Really?
for us to have drinks. Yeah. and-
Dang, I should have done that.
yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. It worked out really well for us. It actually paid for our tattoos. It was our Venmos. So I loved
Thank you, fam.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for the tattoos, guys.
my gosh.
It worked out really well. And I guess that's really the only tip. Also, nightcap. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before, but the nightcaps, especially if you're going to go to a place like Austin, it covers your drink. So you are super careful.
Yes, if you're going to very crowded places.
Right. Nashville is a big place. Scottsdale, my sister-in-law is having her, future sister-in-law is having
So
her
talk to me a
bachelorette.
little bit about the nightcap because I heard it and thought you meant like your final drink at the
Oh,
night.
no. Nightcap. It's actually a scrunchie. Well, it looks
Okay.
like a scrunchie. And it has a zipper on the side. You open it, and it has a little cap. A little cap for your drink. And there's a little hole in it for a sticker or for a straw. They do have sticker versions that are, more cost effective. But if you're going to be going out and you're going to have multiple drinks, you might as well get the actual fabric version. They have different colors. So, like, for me, my bachelorette party was all blue. So they had blue scrunchies. There's pink scrunchies, I definitely recommend it.
Oh, I love that.
For bridesmaids.
Yeah,
and
maid of
bachelorette
honors.
parties.
Yeah,
yes,
like-
get on that.
Yeah,
Like,
that would be a cute thing to put in the
Yes.
little welcome gifts for the bridesmaids.
yes, and it keeps everyone safe, and you can use them over and over and over and over again.
I love that.
So definitely recommend.
Yeah. And I think if I had any advice to give, just be in the moment. I know that's like so cliche, but it goes by so quickly. And like, you didn't follow your schedule completely to a T. I also didn't follow my schedule completely to a T. I didn't know exactly what we were going to be doing at the end of the night once we all got back home. And there was one night where I was pretty far gone. But I literally was like, we have to watch Across the Universe. It's my favorite movie. I've seen it 150 times, and half the people there hadn't seen it yet. And I we couldn't get logged into streaming services. Like, my friend ended up buying it on like YouTube, on Amazon, and like something else. So she now owns Across the Universe on like 3 different streaming platforms. But we all sat there and watched my favorite movie together.
That's cool.
And that was like one of the most special moments throughout the whole weekend, even though it was just like completely impromptu, had no idea it was going to happen. So if you're type A like me, just make sure you're okay with going with the flow.
Yes.
And this is a weekend that it's about you, but it's also about the group. Like, it's bringing, no matter if it's just you and one bestie, you and 2 besties, you and 8 besties, it's bringing you guys closer together at the end of the day. And there's not going to be many more celebrations like that before you are a wifey / husband / whatever you want to call yourself as a married person.
Right.
You know?
I mean,
so
then it's like babies and whatever, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have like a pre-mommy party,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
Bachelorette. You could.
You could. Like, hey, I'm about to start trying to get pregnant. Let's go hard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could.
I actually love that. I think I'm going to do
start that.
Yes.
Let's make that happen.
Right?
Let's make that a thing.
A pre-pregnancy girls' weekend.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
Because like once the baby shower happens, you can't go hard at the baby shower.
No.
You can drink orange juice or something, but
everyone else could go hard at the baby shower.
Go
You
hard
can't.
for me, but let's party before the pregnancy.
Exactly.
Yeah, or whatever comes next in your marriage. You know,
Yeah.
it's just being a married person is very different than not.
Yeah.
So that's just what I've heard from people. I'm obviously not married yet,
Oh,
but
it is.
I will be there.
It is so different.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as we got married, it was like we kind of like became old recluses. We're like in bed by like 9. Like, we met at a bar. We used to be out till like 4 in the morning. Now we can't make it till like midnight.
Oh my gosh, literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like lucky if I stay awake through the whole movie we're watching.
Yeah, same. We're laying in bed. We're like, do you want to get that last episode of Chicago Fire? No.
Nah, I'm good.
Let's try to watch that tomorrow.
Let's save it. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Felicia, for coming in. And Bridal Babes, make sure you check out this, you know, if you weren't watching it on YouTube and you want to see her cute little tattoos and the little things she mentioned about her wedding day and things like that. Hopefully we'll have all of that visually able for you to see on the YouTube video. So watch it there if you listened on podcast, but where can they find you online if they want to follow you?
So I'm on Instagram. My handle is shortstack1819. Send me a follow. I'm on there. I have a bunch of wedding pictures. I can actually post all my DIY stuff that I did too. Follow. If you guys have any wedding questions, go ahead and ask. I mean, I planned the whole wedding myself. So if you have any questions, let me know.
Yes. Make sure you follow Felicia and keep up with her. And again, make sure you keep up with the buzz. It does not stop here. We are everywhere online and we have new episodes every week, just like what happened today, but different topics. So make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, leave us that review. It would mean the world to me. Share us with your friends. If you have recently engaged people in your life, make sure they know about what we're doing, because I think it's pretty cool. So with that, we'll see you next time. So wave to this middle camera. Bye.